start by introducing each other, or ourselves. My name is Alex. I'm going to be co-hosting today's lesson. And this is Chris. Hey, what are your names? Daniel. Hi, Daniel. Okay, Uliana, great. Well, let me lead by telling you that we're going to make a story game together. Okay? And that story game is going to be about physics. Okay? It's going to be about Newton laws. But first, we're going to learn about how this classroom of the future works. Well, our typical class starts with participants arriving from different parts of the planet. And we start with greeting them and telling them that they are in this new virtual classroom. We talk about the places where we are at the moment, Seattle. We talk about sort of schools they go to and just generally warm them up, make them feel comfortable. VR MakerLab is a collaborative tool for teens and adults alike to practice story game making on the subjects they learn in classrooms, in schools and universities. It is an international playground for people all over the world to come together and use the characters and props that we prepared for them and follow the instructor's lead and create together. We recently had several classes with kids in Tasmania, Israel, and today we had a class with Ukrainian kids where they make stories and games on the subject of Newton's laws of motion. We're preparing Virtual MakerLab for teachers who want to use VR, project-based and narrative-based approach in their classrooms. This application can work for museums, libraries, and cultural centers where supplemental education programs are at play. We're also preparing automated virtual assistants that can streamline this platform to be used for millions of homeschool participants. All right, let me show you where we are. We are in Seattle right now with Matt and my buddy Chris. Chris, raise your right hand.
I'm right here.
That's right. All right, my co-host. I'm going to throw this sphere, and this is Seattle. Do you guys see Seattle around you? The Space Needle. That's right, Chris. Thank you very much. All right, guys, let's stop playing around with spheres and go to characters. Follow me to the drawer that says characters. We then proceed with learning how to teleport, how to pick objects, how to place objects on the table, on our play table, and change environments, communicate with each other, raise hands, things that you would do in a normal collaborative environment in a modern class. So guys, we're going to make a story about forces of motion, and it's going to be related to soccer. So I'm going to change environment to the soccer. Everybody sees the field. And we're going to make a story about applying forces of a kick, okay, to a ball in a soccer game. We then proceed with making stories or reviewing the subjects, like we did with Newton's laws of motion. Either watching a movie or talking about it, and then we make a story game. That's what we call them, where participants understand the application and explore the application of laws of Newton, for instance, in a soccer game.
Well, I think to do a story about Newton's first law, let's use this deer.
Okay, let's do that.
And we have the soccer ball, and that's what he's trying to kick. He's playing a soccer game with all the animals of the jungle.
And they become the characters in themselves, or they kind of associate themselves with characters on the table, and they play that out, using props. and then we basically reflect on their experience with discussing it afterwards, and looking at where the actual laws were applied in the story.
So there was a small and very nice elephant. His name was Tommy.
I like that.
And Tommy had to play football, because that was something those people made him doing.
We're planning to expand features of the application to use full embodiment for the role play scenarios. We want the application to have capabilities of leave behind game that kids can actually take home at the end of the class and share with their friends and family. So it is part of the future metaverse of teenage world. And young adults and up to college, and I think that lifelong learning concept is also very interesting to explore with this platform as well. So I think that it's a place of friendship and discovery.